Forced marriage, child marriage, these are real problems here in the United States, and nobody else is paying any attention to this.
Legislation that would save girls' lives.
We like to think of the United States as being far advanced when it comes to women's rights and girls' rights. But in the decade 2000 to 2010, almost 250,000 children were married in the United States, and nobody was talking about this.
Child marriage right now is legal in 48 U.S. states. Is that okay?
No! Somebody needed to do something. I stepped up because I have been through it myself and I wanted to help. I grew up in the ultra-Orthodox Jewish community, which is a very insular religious community. I always knew that I would marry young, and it would be a marriage that would be arranged for me. I was a clueless 19-year-old. I was so happy on my wedding day. I was doing everything that I had always been told I wanted to do. And then it took exactly 1 week for that all to come crashing down. My then husband flew into this, violent rage, and then he threatened to kill me for the first time. It was a reality check for me. It's painful, but the pain you go through is part of what makes you who you are. I finally put a plan in place to get out when I was 27, because at that point things had gotten so bad. So it was a 5-year escape plan. It was terrifying and so lonely, and there was no one who supported me. Everyone I knew had declared me dead, and everyone in the outside world could not possibly understand this process that I was going through. But I got divorced, and I was able to rebuild my life from scratch. There are so many other women and girls who end up getting stuck in an abusive relationship, and I thought I needed to help them get to where I was able to get somehow. Unchained at Last is the only organization that is dedicated to ending forced and child marriage in the United States through direct services and through advocacy. So the first thing that we do when somebody reaches out to us for help is we make sure that they are someplace safe. Coordinating escapes is one of the key services that we provide. We provide free legal representation through our team of pro bono attorneys, and then I'll provide emotional support and anything else to these women. There are many, many different reasons that parents will force an adult or a minor child to marry. Certainly culture, religion, tradition, is one of those reasons, but it's not the only one. For example, a child comes out as LGBTQ, or a girl gets pregnant, and the family says, we're going to respond to this with a forced marriage. I mean, this is not just happening in any one community.
I grew up with a very abusive father. He wanted me to be with someone he could control.
If it weren't for Fraidy, I would probably be living a very different life in an arranged marriage.
Fraidy is the most compassionate, gentle, sensitive person, and she will keep fighting for you even when you lose the fight, when you feel like you have no fight left inside yourself. She's actually making a difference and spreading awareness in a way that can save so many people from going through the experiences that I went through.
I founded Unchained in 2011. Since then, we have helped about 500 people to escape forced marriages. But more and more girls under 18 were reaching out to ask for help, and we realized under 18 there's almost nothing legally that we can do to help these girls. Really, the only way to help them is to change the laws. In many states, the loopholes in their marriage age laws were so gaping that they didn't specify any minimum age for marriage. Thanks to your leadership, we're really, really hopeful that we can finally end child marriage in the United States. We finally had our first victory. Delaware became the first US state to end child marriage. And then, soon thereafter, New Jersey became the second state, no marriage before age 18. We're using the democratic process. We are raising awareness, and we're meeting with legislators one at a time. And we hold these chain-ins. It's a form of protest that we invented, where we gather and we all wear bridal gowns and veils, and we chain our wrists to show legislators this is what life looks like for a girl or a woman who is forced to marry. Every time I'm able to help somebody who's going through what I went through, that never gets old, that feeling. It's so healing and empowering. And for all those that I couldn't help, especially the children, those under 18, who there was nothing that we could do. Passing those laws to end child marriage. It's my message to them of, I'm sorry I couldn't help you, but this will never happen again, at least in this state. Until I am too old to wear my heels anymore and too old to put on my red lipstick in the morning, I am going to be still fighting to end forced and child marriage in the United States, still helping the individuals who are affected by it, and still pushing for policy change and legal change. And we're not giving up.